I wanted to watch this quick school district comments because I have a secret obsession, and the secret obsession has to do with school districts. Did he get permit? Yeah, I got permit. Hey, Prophet, thank you so much for the tier 1. I actually don't have sub notifications on, so let me actually fix that quick. Is that a spider on my wall? Well, isn't that lovely? Let me turn on my notifications. Do 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 do. I am so excited to see that Sam Cedar debate tomorrow with Steven Crowder. It took it so long to happen, but it's finally coming true. Finally. He's going to be debating a voice on Bob's Burgers after years of progress. Longtime lurker and YouTube fan. After watching the last Sippy Dippy, could you tell your guests like CTV not to erratically scream or shout suddenly? I'm hard of hearing. This kind of kills my ears. Love your work, your passion, Toodles. I've gotten a lot of comments about CTV since my last show. A lot of people who don't want me to book them again. And you want to know what? I don't know. I don't know every time I get those messages if it's signifying that I should have them on more or less. Unironically. Because the thing is, a lot of people hate CTV. And I mean like hate them with a passion. Because I find something that Gorgeous George told Muhammad Ali to be true. And I think it is always to a certain extent. Like, I think there's go away heat, like I don't want to watch you. And I think there's I hate you and I want to watch you lose heat. You know what I mean? And I think CTV, for a lot of people, rides a fine line. You know? It's always on the line on, like, for a lot of people, on whether it's go away heat or I want you to lose heat. Which, if you can ride that line very effectively, then you can, like, be great for, like, bringing people into a show. But it's very difficult to do so at times. And I think last time, it might have just had to do with sometimes the quality of his audio. That, for some people, it was go away heat. But I don't think I'm going to stop CTV from coming on in the future. Just maybe check the mic to make sure it's not, like, falling out beforehand. Not to say not to book him again, but the screaming actually hurts. The thing is, I kept lowering his volume to deal with it. Will I have Big Papa Fascist on my show? Probably not. I don't think I'd ever have him on my show.
A curd is a curd.
Little Bits, thank you so much for the tier 1 tub, Hassan. I can't wait for him to show up in my chat. The thing is with Big Papa Fascist is, as far as I know, number one, I don't think he actually has his own YouTube channel. I think he just goes on to another thing. He does the thing that happens on modern day debates where they just appear on one show. They don't have their own show, but they appear on a separate show. Which, that kind of defeats the whole, you have to be a content creator part. That's one. That's probably one of the bigger points. The second point would be that also just don't like him very much. Simple as. I can invite people on that I don't like at times, but I don't have to. And so if there's no big benefit for me doing it, then there's no reason for me to do it.
In fact, and you should not say that. We have kids here, attorney.
So the reason why we're watching this is I have this obsession. And my obsession is specifically with the concept of city council meetings, school board meetings, county board meetings, local politics meetings, just generally going crazy. Because this is where they have, like, more people are able to easier more easily like interact with public officials. And so due to that ease of access, that means there's more accountability and a lot of times more transparency. But it also means that there's a lot more hilarious interactions.
Attorney Senate that go to that school, and I'm going to add this. On April 15th, the very first day of PSSA testing, what you guys did was you put in the media for these kids and these parents and the people that support Erie Rise that this school was going to be closing. Now let's talk about trauma and psychodynamics. Do you think that that might have an impact on test scores? I'm just curious.
Okay, so what's going on here is that they reported publicly that the school is closing, and the teachers are concerned that with public knowledge being given to students that their school is closing, that a lot of them are going to check out when there's really important tests going on that could affect their students' future. That's the question to the board.
If you say to a kid, hey, your school's closing, we're closing that school, and then now I got to go take a test. If you have an answer to that, counselor,
I do, based on
bottle it, and we probably can all benefit.
Based on your English language scores, I don't think your students could read the newspaper, sir.
To be clear, he responds to this concern about the students seeing in the media that the school's closing down by saying, based on your English testing scores, I'd be surprised if they could read the newspaper.
Attorney Senate, I have to say before a counselor says anything, that is a very low blow with racial overtones.
Your microphone isn't on, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we must have order to proceed, and if we don't have order, we're going to recess the hearing again. Please respect the fact that these speakers have the floor when they do.
Well, no, Attorney Senate is going to respect the parents in this room. He's going to respect the parents in this room. He's going to respect the fact that these folks have worked and they pay taxes and they send their children to this school because they think it's a good school for them. And for him to make a comment like that, and for you to have your first comment be addressed to these people as opposed to addressing it to Attorney Senate is quite frankly out of line. Attorney Senate is the one that you need to remind to be respectful of these proceedings.
We are going to have order, or we're not going to continue tonight. If there is
Sir,
no order,
there will not be any order. There will not be any peace until there is justice. And if he's going to be allowed to run his mouth like that and say that our children can't read the newspapers, sir, then no, you're not going to have order in this meeting. In fact, you're not going to have order in this town. And in fact, your threat to recess this session means absolutely nothing to us because there is nothing appropriate about his comment. And so until you address that and until you address his behavior, then no, you are not going to have peace.
What they just did is delivered basically everything to the opposite in one fell swoop. Like, was it, like, the thing is, that dude definitely thought that was the wittiest comment, which it did have some wit involved. The problem is that all that's gonna do is, number one, aggravate a crowd and just like immediately be like, see, look, they don't care about the kids. And so this guy can go up there, he could say anything. He could go up there and just like take out like a bottle of soap and pour it all on the floor and everyone would cheer him because it's in opposition to whatever the hell just happened. Like, this guy could go up there and say anything and just get just cheers. Come on, because it's all 100% righteous anger. Yeah, exactly. He was insulting literal children. He went after the children. So they're saying, hey, I don't think you guys care about the kids. This is really going to have a negative effect on the kids. And he said, Lamau, kid's stupid. And so at this point, the crowd was already rowdy beforehand because they think they're getting screwed. And now they think the guy just admitted to yeah, we hate the kids, screw him. And now, like, he could say anything at this point, and he has them in the palm of their hand.
Okay,
Mr. Lang, moving on.
Mr. Senate.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for that comment. It was off. Thank you very much.
Okay, so the thing is, okay, so the guy tries to move it on, and I'm sorry, you can't just, like, keep going after a comment like that. You gotta address it, you gotta do it. The guy just apologized. I don't think that's gonna mean much. I don't think that the demand for apologies is gonna really change anything. But, like, God, man, this is why, like, local politics stuff is always so interesting, because you're gonna see more interactions like this, and a lot more just, like, disdain from certain, like, local politicians for just the general population than you would ever see on the national level, because there's just so many more opportunities for stuff like this to happen. It's not necessarily that these local politicians are so much better than the national politicians a lot of the time. I think it's just that, or so much worse when you see interactions like this more frequently. It's just that you get them in the hot seat more often.
Counselor, and I'm going to ask, and I have a newspaper article, and we have a student that would like to read this newspaper article to you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lang, I'm asking, where you haven't finished your questions. Please sit down.
No.
The quorum is destroyed. They're requesting this person to sit down. They're requesting that person to sit down. It means nothing at this point. It's completely deteriorated. I want to think of a term that's more appropriate than the convicts run the asylum, considering the situation. I guess it would be that, like, the constituents run the constituency. No, the constituents run the meeting now. They run this. They can do whatever they want, and what are they going to do? Cut off the microphone? All that's going to do is make it worse. You just got to let them take control of the situation right now. They're 17-16 this meeting. It's over. You can't reinforce. You can't reinforce the meeting. It's done. You can't be like, sit down. Nah, that child is going to go up there and read that newspaper. And unless you're going to do something to go physically restrain them, which is the worst possible thing you could do in the situation, it's over. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like football. They just need to take a knee and run out the clock and just sit there sweating. That's what they need to do for the rest of this meeting.
No, Counselor. No. And you know I'm normally very cooperative. I try to get along with everybody, but that is a very low blow. And I have a young man that came here tonight with a newspaper article, and he wants to read it to everybody, telling everybody why this school is teacher-led. Okay, so let's see if he can read it.
See, if I was one of the people on there right now, I'd be looking for, like, the Discord mute button and forgetting it was, like, IRL. I'd be out of my element completely.
And this kid used to go to the Erie.
There's more.
Anyway, man, that stuff is so wild to me. Can we just look at more
Hell no.
school meeting, like or like local politics? Local politics meeting goes crazy. Local politics meeting goes crazy. Can we look at those? Do we have any of those we can look at? Most outrageous government board meeting ever. It's 3.9 million views. Okay, let's open that one in a new tab. Houston City Council meeting goes bad. Okay. Oh, damn. Opens and arguments over open carry debate. Chaotic parish council meeting goes viral. Look at a few of these.
Pointed in this board.
Let's not do this one. Let's start with this one.
months to bring this up.
Oh, yeah, sparks were flying as Houston City Council members argued over a ballot initiative for equal pay for Houston firefighters. A special meeting called today to discuss the issue sidestepped the mayor, and it was heated from the very beginning. ABC 13's Ted Oberg explains why tempers flared so quick.
If the audience came looking for a fight, the 10 a.m. showing of Houston City Council Political Theater did not disappoint. You can decide if this is a drama or a comedy. The meeting called to discuss a ballot initiative from firefighters to give them equal pay with police. It needed 9 members for the meeting to happen. Only 7 showed up, so that should have been the end. It wasn't. The sniping started in the chamber.
I absolutely did. I stand by that. Mayor wants me to tell all the time, what's this about? All about my district. 2 feet of water. Something that you're not.
Then spilled out into the hallway after the meeting was canceled.
You're not the mayor, and I haven't seen it. And until
I'll tell you
I see it on
what,
the
if it's
agenda-
not, how about I resign? If it is, how about you resign?
Well,
Want to make that bet?
Councilmember Dave Martin, defending the mayor, said a meeting to talk about...
I would love it. I could see that. You're not going to see that on national level politics, where you see Ted Cruz walk up to like I don't know, Mitch McConnell, or Mitch McConnell walk up to Chuck Schumer, like, okay, fine. If gun control does work, then I'll resign. If it doesn't work, you resign. We'll look at the statistics afterwards. Like, you're never going to see that.
The measure's cost is already planned for next week and an important step in the process.
This should have been in November 2017.
Critics of Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner, though, point out the process has already taken a year just to get to this point. The Firefighters Union has long been at odds with the mayor over pay and the pension changes. The union's attorney says all of this today, it's just politics.
They're using this to campaign against the measure right now. That's what the mayor's doing. This is a game.
The council members attend those committee meetings so they can get additional information. It's not about electioneering, and you know that.
To me, a
Okay, let's see this.
gun is like a American Express card. You don't leave home without it. I don't carry a gun to intimidate anybody, and I really don't believe that Lauren Doherty was intimidated by my carrying a gun in here. I carry a gun because I'm Shut up, I'm talking.
Oh, whoa. Let's calm down right now.
he is snappy. Oh my goodness. He's like, okay, if you're like, yes, I carry a gun. I carry a gun like it's my American Express card. I didn't mean to intimidate a politician. Shut up! I didn't mean to apologize. Oh yeah, that's the exact person. That is the exact individual I want talking about how they carry a gun around like an American Express card. Exactly. Definitely when the majority of shootings are of the moment emotional kind of endeavors.
Hold it. Stop it right now. I've listened to enough so far. I've never...
If I was sitting in this meeting, every time I hear the gavel hit, I would duck a little bit, knowing this guy was in there.
Never had this happen in my 23 years of mayoring. This has never happened. You know, you can go ahead and finish, Mr. Bush, and I'm going to finish the cards, okay? But then I've never called anybody down. This is ridiculous, okay? This is not council business. This is political actions in this room right now.
Right.
And that is not what we're here to deal with. And that's not what these 7 people are elected to do. Okay? So what you need to do is finish, and I'm going to finish the cards, and then I'll proceed. Go ahead.
Okay.
Councilwoman Doherty does represent many of us in Allen. She beat one candidate in a general election and then beat the other in a runoff. To call for her resignation because she didn't vote the way you want her to vote is short-sighted and selfish.
How far will we let this go? How far? Do I have to wear a weapon to feel safe to speak in here? To you? To be a representative?
Fortunately, the council is here to do business for the city of Allen, Texas, not to fight a political battle between candidates. Unfortunately, you have now taken up over an hour of the council's valuable time, up here to make decisions what's best for the city. I mean, I can't regulate open carry. I mean, it's a legislative situation, not mine by choice. And unfortunately, I do enjoy Lauren Daugherty sitting on the council. She brings a different kind of perspective. I don't agree with her a lot of things, but it's okay. It's okay. That's what the council's made up of. I think the more heads you put together, the better decision you come out with. So, but that's my opinion. You know, but I want to end this situation right now. I want to make it to where this is not a political chamber. This is a council chamber. So after this evening,
God, I eat these things like candy. Every time I watch these city council meetings erupting and exploding and whatever they want to put in the video title, it's always the most entertaining content in the world to me. Every time I watch these, man, I just get enthralled.
Can you speak in the mic, Mr. Scott?
Sure.
Yeah.
I've instructed my client. You can hear me without the mic. But I've instructed my
But I
client
want the public
not
to hear you.
Answer that question.
Okay, so
Mr. Mays.
Mr.
Let me
Ken
finish.
Scott.
Don't interrupt.
This is 2019. Why does this footage look like it's from the late 70s?
Me when I'm talking.
You
Don't do that.
go ahead. Go.
The thing is, I actually really like reality TV. I like watching these like terrible. I like Dog the Bounty Hunter. I like watching these shows. You Are Not the Father. That stuff I eat it like candy, but I ultimately know it's all very staged and fake. This is like all the benefits of reality TV, but you also know it's 100% real.
Go ahead, but I'm going to interrupt you because this is our hearing. It's not yours. So go ahead and don't tell me what to do.
I'm going to tell you one more
Okay,
time.
well, you can get up and walk and...
Yo, is the speaker borrowing CTV's mic right now? Because, you know, he's sounding a lot like CTV, leaning in. This is our time. I love it.
We'll go across the street.
We can do that.
Okay, whatever you want to do. Y'all, it's y'all politics. I ask a simple question. Go ahead and proceed, and then we're going to see what you do. I will interrupt in order to keep this right. Madam Chair, when I'm asking questions, I'm going to do, he ain't going to run this. Go ahead, Mr. Scott.
Madam Chair, I don't allow nobody to disrespect me or my client. So once you can get him under control, we'll be back. Let's go.
So you leaving? I want the record to show that Mr. Gilchrist is walking out. Now what I want to do is put a motion on the floor to subpoena the mayor or ask her to come up here at the next meeting, and I so move.
There's a motion on the floor to subpoena the mayor for the next meeting. Is there a second? There's a motion on the floor, Ms. Fields. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair, let me say this. That looked like something that was staged. And I'm here to tell you this. Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott, you're out of order. You can move and leave. You said you were gone. I'm asking you to do, but you ain't going to stand in the middle. Point of order. You out of order, Mr. Scott, and your business is over. You don't need to talk to me.
Okay.
You had your chance to talk to me. Why are you walking up here on me? Get on back away from me.
Councilman Mays.
It is over.
This is inappropriate. We are taking a meeting.
Get away from me.
What is going on?
You're out of order. Get the hell away from me. Get the hell away from me. You won't crack me across my head. And I'm going to tell you what. I want this sent to the police. You ain't cracking me across my head. Well, you ain't going to threaten nobody in no public meeting because your man don't want to answer an easy question. I'm going to make a promise to you. You're not going to interrupt this meeting threatening no elected official with no physical violence. I don't care what kind of suit you wear.
Councilman Mays.
I don't care what kind of suit you wear.
Councilman
You
Mays,
way out of order.
asking you
and
to
you're
calm
making
down.
your client look bad. So go on with that mess.
Councilman
We in discussion on a motion. Now let me say that, Madam Chair, did you recognize me?
I did, Councilman Mays.
Point of privilege. Point of privilege, Madam Chair.
There's a point of privilege.
Would you
What's your
please
point of
quiet the citizen, please?
Yeah, please.
We can't even have a meeting.
If
He's out of order as well.
if anybody else disrupts this meeting, you will be removed under the disorderly conduct ordinance 31-10.
Yes, I would ask Ms. Lewis if she could come up to the podium, please. This is for a special order to discuss the status of the city's water fund and water liens.
Okay, water. Okay, what is their money? Okay, look, everybody agrees. Everybody should have clean water, right? This is real simple. Clean water. Everyone deserves it. Maybe we need to change out some pipes to make sure the water's clean. What is it? What's going on?
It's been on every committee meeting, certainly since you took this position.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis. So,
I have not received the referral in writing. Just because it's on the agenda does not mean that I'm responding to it.
It's not a referral, it's a special order.
Okay.
Do you not get our agendas ahead of time?
We get them like right before the meeting. We've talked about this before too.
Okay, well, this special order has been on literally every committee meeting for the past, I don't know,
wait,
at least
you're
3
right.
or
This
4
is
months.
Flint, Michigan. Maybe the
And
water.
we never talk about
more
it.
than that.
So why would I expect it to come up today?
So it is. And so, Ms. Lewis, if you will just answer the questions that you can, and then whatever you can't, maybe you can get answers to next time.
Okay.
I think that would be appreciated. So,
Sure.
Ms. Fields, if you would like to continue.
Okay, the first committee meeting that you attended, and this was brought up, and we asked you for this report, and I could understand why at that point in time you hadn't been in the position for long, maybe you wouldn't have any information, but certainly by now you
Can you
should...
just ask the question?
Oh, my God.
I beg your pardon, Ms. Lewis?
We don't need all of this scolding. Just ask me the question.
Madam Chair, would you please tell Ms. Lewis that her sarcastic comments are not welcome and to
Oh,
please
I'm not being
restrain
sarcastic.
herself? Restrain yourself, Ms. Lewis. You've just got up here and gave a big speech how everybody needs to respect everyone.
Yes,
So
and
that comment,
I don't need to be scolded.
that comment was not warranted.
I don't need to be scolded.
And
I'm
you
an
don't
adult.
need to be making comments like that. Now, I'm going to continue.
This is exactly why we need a qualified CFO.
So, okay.
Madam Chair?
What's Ms. Fields? Wait a minute, you guys. Ms. Fields.
Okay, since Ms. Lewis is declining to even participate in the question,
She might have some like vodka in that McCafe in front of her, right? That coffee might be like full to the brim of like gin or vodka or something. Something to dull the pain that is this meeting. Or maybe that's what's making this meeting what it is.
I want to send a referral to Mayor Weaver and the city attorney and the city administrator. If she is the acting CFO, okay, she's refusing to answer financial questions. A good part of the responsibilities of council is oversight of the finances.
Yes.
So how can we have oversight if she won't even respond to questions? I just want to say I appreciate Attorney Wheeler reading from the charter, but I'd also like to say that while I didn't approve of Mr. Mays's behavior and his
I'll be right back.
yelling
Need to get something to drink.
and the way he acted, I also have never seen an attorney act the way that Mr. Scott acted, much less a threat like that, a public threat to physically do harm to a member of council.
Also appreciate Ms. Wheeler reading that, but it's been almost 2 years on council. We've begged and pleaded about this behavior, and this is the first time she's read that, the first time.
The city employees is just as bad. When Tamar Lewis called me an asshole and a cocksucker, did none of y'all say anything about that? None of y'all.
Hello, this thing on? My name is Mr. R.L. Mitchell, and I'd like to address the situation of the Hurley Hospital. With the, one of the co-managers of the hospital is named Jason Newsom. Jason A something, aggravate. But anyway, I can say for the public that I bet you, and I want some money from this, that one of the members on Hurley Hospital looks to
Did I miss something good?
The man was sitting there.
I'm looking at chat. Did I miss something good? Oh no, do I have to go back? I gotta go back.
When Tamar Lewis called me an asshole and a cocksucker, did none of y'all say anything about that?
Oh my God.
None of y'all.
Hello, this thing on? My name is Mr. R.L. Mitchell, and I'd like to address the situation of the Hurley Hospital. With the, one of the co-managers of the hospital is named Jason Newsom. Jason A. something, aggravate. But anyway, I can say for the public that I bet you, and I want some money from this, that one of the members on Hurley Hospital listens to the man was sitting there, his wife is on there. I bet you, y'all, Mr. Jason Newsom will have a fit before the NAACP woman have a fit talking about this lawyer jumping on Mays right there. I bet you money, Mr. Galloway. And that's why I can get me some ching-chings in my pocket. You won't, that's the only way I can get some money from you people. Don't want to distribute the budget. And Ms. Field talking about outside counsel. Once you go down to Alabama, see what George Washington and get the counsel from Alabama and see how they counsel Flint. And then they probably do just like this lawyer did to Mr. Mays. Do what to the people of Flint, order them out, talking about bust inside the face, bust, who done heard of such thing to bust Mays, crack his head in front of everybody else? That's what the council will do for Alabama from Miss Fields talking that junk, coming up like they taking all them general statues off from Alabama and stuff, the soldiers fought all their life and look at that, Miss Galloway. And another thing, and Mr. President, you see what the situation you got us in now? Act the public don't count. Or let Miss Galloway talk that Chang and all that stuff talking about. And Mr. McGrail, they got him part-time job being a sheriff.
Mr. Mitchell, your time is up.
Cut your buckle. We got to know we'll tuck your buckle. We get
Mitchell, your time is up.
Lady.
Thank you, sir.
And like
Mr. Mitchell, your time is up.
Man, what? You bald-headed donkey, man, what? Man, you up there? Man, listen.
Ariel, I'm going to rule you out of order and have you removed. Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh my God, man. These things are like candy.
And let me also quote to you the standing orders of Hanforth. But will you stop talking?
Unless we are prepared.
Will you please listen?
We'll go the same.
Will you please listen? Will you stop being whatever it is you're trying to be and just clerk the meeting if that's what you want to do? We'll start the meeting, and I want to repeat what I said at the beginning of the last meeting, that this meeting has not been called according to the law.
Dude, it's crazy, man. I had no clue that like British people, like British politicians, like didn't have foreheads, man. It's crazy that you can just see people from like the mouth down.
The law has been broken.
It has been properly
Will you please let the chairman
Mrs. Weaver, please.
speak?
If you disrupt this meeting, I will have to remove you from it.
You can't. It's only the chairman who can remove people from a meeting. You have no authority here, Jackie Weaver. No authority.
No authority.
At all.
Get Jackie. Get her.
She's just kicked him out.
I
Just a minute. No, she's kicked him out. Don't. She's kicked him out. Don't.
This is a meeting called by two councillors.
Illegally?
They now
Illegally?
elect a chairman.
No, they can't because the vice chair's here. I take charge.
Yeah, he
Read
takes
the
charge.
standing orders. Read them and understand them.
Dear me. Appalling behaviour.
Hell yeah.
Everybody.
I do stand up, Jackie.
Could I ask you to be respectful to Jackie Weaver, please?
What? They're just laughing. My God, Jackie Weaver, what have you done to unleash this fury upon yourself?
I want to leave. Just you go and out with them. She's kicked Barry out, so I'm leaving. No, Barry. No, Barry has gone. I'll stay. We're trying to have a teams meeting. You go on. We're trying to have a Teams meeting, you fool. We can't if you've got that. Oh, you just don't.
Sounds like Gollum and just hiding in the corner, just yelling at this guy.
Remaining members, quite correctly, have refused to recognise that that position. But as Councillor Smith says, I'm afraid there's no way of stopping him calling himself Clark.
Okay.
Please refer to me as Britney Spears from now on.
Wait, what? Refer to you as Britney Spears? What else? Do we have anything else? Any more of these? Oh yeah, this one. Did this one any good though?
This matter here because
Call the question. He's got a right to call the question.
he's got a right to call the question, but I'm next item, resolution determine.
Is there anything else here? Full Jackie Weaver reveals about that Zoom meeting. This one. Thanks for thanks for all the
I wanna go
bits.
back to the civility thing again, kind of go off what Tim said, and it's kind of interesting. One of these code of conducts that I found, and it talks about at times the impacts of the entire community must be weighed against the impact of only a few. Despite these pressures, elected officials are called upon to exhibit appropriate behavior at all times. Demonstrating respect for each individual through words and actions is the touchstone that can help guide council members to do the right thing, even in the most difficult situations. So I find it a little bit ironic, Mr. Kelly, talking about people coming up from other cities when I recall a woman coming up from Houston after everyone was talking about how great National Night Out was, and I made a comment saying, thank you for coming to our city, but we'll take it from here. And you went straight home on social media and disparaged me about that statement.
How did I disparage you?
People on our own council saying GTFO, which is not what I said.
Is that,
But the
I'm sorry,
premise-
are you
the
putting
premise-
are you typing words into a post that I made?
No, I'm not. I
Okay,
don't
so the
follow
post
social
is still
media.
there,
People send that to me.
Council Member Duffy, and I would suggest you go back and read it before you change it to say it's something that it did not say.
Council member Duffy.
Fine, but
Okay.
the point is the
Then we can,
respect piece, the civility piece. And
What
that's
about
the
the
thing.
civility piece? When you sit up here and you say you actually twist what I said when it's in writing right there, and it wasn't a slam on you. So where's the civility there? Where's the civility when you attack a
I
citizen
didn't attack
who's
a
up? You did,
citizen.
and the mayor wouldn't even stop it.
She has slandered me in public.
They
to my
thought-
friends.
hey, we're up
So
here.
it's-
We're up here and we take it, right?
Here's the
No,
thing.
we're up here and we take it, right?
A 10-minute recess until
Right?
10 o'clock.
2 years of my life.
Park City Council rules reconvene.
They were just nope, and they just chopped it off. Not even gonna attempt to have this meeting. Okay.
Something that happened at a routine city committee meeting in Madison has gone viral, even landing on the Jimmy Kimmel Show.
The clip showed the owner of an up-and-coming spot talking to the Liquor License Review Committee. He's looking for a liquor license for his new business.
I want to be somewhere where people can come and sit and relax, not party and get wild and cause complaints.
I want to make sure I heard something right. You were saying, so your vision is not a nightclub and this is not a place for people to get wild? Is that what you said?
I'm sure if we check the records, that's probably the case.
Is this your website?
Mm-hmm.
That says get wild?
Uh-oh.
Okay, that's pretty funny. Not exactly what I was going for, but I was just sent this by somebody in chat, Real Bruce Lee. This is Ukrainian Parliament. Them engaging in some good old fashioned Ukrainian politics.
Колеги, зупиніться. Зупиніться. Я скажу. Колеги, зупиніться. Я прошу
Ukrainian politics.
Я ранкове засідання оголошую закритим. Я оголошую перерву і прошу зупинити конфлікт. Старший по званню, зупиніть конфлікт. Зупинили конфлікт в парламенті українському. Прошу зупинитись. Дякую, колеги. Ще раз вітаю з важливим і великим рішенням. Вітаю вас, колеги. Ранкове засідання оголошую закритим. В 16-й годині всіх прошу зайти в зал для продовження. Зупиніться!
Oh, he
Я
took
скажу.
extreme exception to that. Oh, it looks like it.
Я прошу зараз, я ранкове засідання оголошую закритим. Я оголошую перерву і прошу зупинити конфлікт.
Oh, God, man. Why do I find so much enjoyment out of this? If anything, this should be the type of stuff that gets me worried, right? Because this is the type of stuff that, like, I would assume, like, gets people, like, angry, you know? What's this? Governor Chris Christie spars with teachers? Oh, boy. Look at that later. Is there anything else? Watch Huron City Council's no confidence vote.
Can we do better? There's always things that pop up that we can do better on, and I call the question.
I'm sorry, that's not how this works. We each have an opportunity to speak 5 minutes.
I thought we did.
Yeah, the question's
No,
been
I'm
called.
sorry. No, I'm sorry.
We've been
City
And that's
Attorney.
not how calling the question works. You need a second and you need to vote on
Then
it.
I have a second for calling
So
the
are you
question.
telling me that you're going to keep me from talking right now?
You've talked all evening.
Look here. You're calling me disrespectful because I've interrupted people, but this gentleman has turned off people's lights in the middle of a global health pandemic. That's what that gentleman did.
Point of order.
And you think I'm disrespectful for interrupting you?
Point of order.
This gentleman has
Point
had the
of
ability to do any
order.
number of things.
Point
We
of
could have
order.
banned large gatherings. We could have closed the beach. We could have put a moratorium on
I recessed the
utility
meeting.
shutoffs.
I recessed the
Also not within your power, and the
recessed the
attorney has
meeting.
held that that's true.
I recessed the meeting.
You came up with new rules at the beginning of the meeting, and then you didn't even want to follow the rules that you came up with.
And you took advantage.
This is a banana republic is what you're turning this place into with your so-called leadership.
Does a recess mean that we will be?
Yes.
Camera on that?
I don't care anything
got a
about
camera
this.
on that?
I don't care anything about this.
Does
We
it-
should have been talking about this last week.
Can
We
we?
cut off people's utilities this week and made them pay what could have been their last check to us to turn their lights on in a global health pandemic. But you don't care about that and you didn't want to meet. But every other year you go around and beg people for their votes.
Hey.
Can we explain
But
the
you care
recess?
more about your relationship with that guy than you care about the relationship with the people who don't go to work in this building.
Order. You were done. You're done. You're done. Disrespect.
It's disrespectful is what you've done to the working people in the city.
I didn't do anything.
You failed to act.
I didn't do anything.
When you're a leader, you failed to act. You said you didn't do anything. You failed to act. When you had an opportunity.
Party for State House.
I don't care anything about that. You think anybody cares?
Does a recess mean that we can reconvene tonight, or? Okay. Is that in 5 minutes, or?
It's when the chair comes back.
This is some funny shit, man.
Borong Slayan.
Is this the right one? Yeah, okay. Oh, God, what's this?
Dan melihat harga barang. Harga barang waktu GST rendah sedikit.
Bukan kasino kah yang kena batangan?
Apa ini? Biadab, ini kurang ajar. Ini tarik balik, ini biadab yang bertuah. Memang kurang ajar, ini bawa mata layak duduk sini. Something, what you want? You nak gaduh dengan saya? Ini time.
Tanya saja kita.
Duduk ah. Kau salah orang. Kau salah orang. You.
Satu timbalan di Batua.
Ya.
Kena padangan kena tarik balik.
An MP in Jordan has attempted to shoot another politician with an AK-47 during a session in
That ain't
Parliament.
fun.
The incident happened after a fierce debate over government policy. The MP in question, Talal Al-Sharif, tried to bring the rifle into Parliament chambers but was stopped by guards, so instead fired shots in the hallway. His target, fellow lawmaker Demisi, was unharmed.
Today, a fight took place. One of the members of Parliament fired a shot in the hallways of the Parliament, after which an emergency meeting was held to discuss this issue. Some are suggesting to sack the Member of Parliament who did that.
The Jordanian Parliament.
Jesus Christ.
Determining trustee position vacant.
Okay, we'll watch this and then we'll wrap up and go to the next
Motion
segment.
made by trustee Ramirez-Lewinsky. We're waiting for a second. Still waiting for a second.
You ought to know you're not going to get one.
It dies.
You already made your speech, and so we don't want to hear it again, to be real honest with you.
So
You're not going to get a second.
Dies for lack of a second. It dies for.
I understand, Trustee Segwalt.
Well, how long are you going to wait? I'm just asking a question. How long are you going to wait?
Yeah, well, I'm still waiting for a second.
I don't think he's gonna get a second, guys. I don't think he's gonna get a second.
Still waiting for a second.
Attorney Rhodes, is there any time limit on how long you have to wait before a motion dies for lack of a second? Or are we going to sit here till midnight?
There's no time limit. The board has the right to make a motion as it does in all other instances.
Okay, is there any procedure that we can do to end this?
And the waiting, you mean?
Yes. Yes, end the waiting and move on. I'm glad you think this is funny.
It is.
I don't think it's
Not
funny.
you. Yeah.
He's laughing too.
It's ridiculous is what
He's
it is.
laughing.
It's not funny, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, if the board determines that the time limit for making a motion is done, someone can make a motion to determine that there has been no second and move on to the
Okay.
next item.
I'll make that motion that
I don't know
there
why.
has been no second.
But the guy in the middle, the guy looking for a second, reminds me a lot of Lecture Fan. I don't know why, but it gives me a Lecture Fan vibe.
Ample time has been given, and it dies for lack of a second.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can I say something?
No, because there was no second.
They just had a second, so now.
Well, they just...
On a motion to move forward, not on the original motion.
You can discuss the motion to move forward.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll discuss the motion to move forward. I have to say, from all the emails I have received from many, many residents and phone calls I have received from many, many residents, that I am very disappointed in this board. That members of this board have attended many meetings talking about improving our image. And your lack of wanting to discuss this issue shows that you do not care about this community nor our image. As I have said, not only have I received emails and letters from residents in this community, I've received them from across the country. This is not setting a good example to our community. This is not setting a good example to any community. This is not what I want for our community. This is not why I ran for.
Man, I want to be on city council now. Honestly, if I can somehow motivate you guys to run for city council through these meetings, I'm going to do it.
Office. This is not the example I want to set for this community. And I'm ashamed of this board because you're saying this is acceptable behavior in our community. And as President Sardo said, you are very much saying this is a sanctuary city for abuse.
You know, I would just add to that, and you know,
call the question.
We're not calling the question. We're talking about this this matter here because...
Call the question. He's got a right to call the question.
He's got a right to call the question, but I'm just saying that I also have a right to respond.
No, you don't have a right to do what's not legal. This has not been seconded,
What's
which
not
shouldn't be any
legal is
discussion.
what this board does every
There was no second.
every 2 weeks.
There's
And-
no discussion.
There was a second.
There was a second to can this thing.
And move on.
Not to backdoor
That may have been
discuss
what
it.
your interpretation was of the second, but that's not what the second was.
Really? I did the
Yes.
seconding, and I seconded trustee Sigwald's motion to,
To move on.
Die for a lack
Well,
of
I
a
didn't
second,
second
so we
your
were moving
second.
on. So
Yes.
that's what the second was.
Did you second my
was
second?
We're discussing
and-
the lack of a
What?
second.
We had discussion by trustee Ramirez-Slawinski. We got
Can
our
I get a
lecture.
second to
Now,
to discuss
trustee
this
Humfer
lack
called
of a
the
second?
question. He has every right to call the question, and Robert's Rules of Order is when you call the question,
We're not-
there is no more discussion.
We're not
You call
operating
the
under
vote.
Robert's Rules of Order.
Oh, because it's convenient to you now.
No, because we have our own rules.
Wait. Trustee Sardo is correct. We don't operate under Robert's rules, but our rules,
Thank you.
I'm sorry, President Sardo, but our rules do indicate that when you call the question, that issue is non-debatable.
Right. It ends
So you
discussion.
do have to, under your rules, call for the vote. The vote is to determine whether or not there's been sufficient debate on the issue of determining that there's been no second.
Thank you for the clarification, Attorney Rhodes. The question's been called.
That's just more of the same stuff. When they don't want to hear what other people have to say.
No
They
debate.
shut
We don't
off
want
the
debate, do we,
It's
in
okay
this
when
town?
they do it, and
We
when
don't want
nobody
debate
else
in this
does it,
town.
it's okay.
Only when it suits certain people do we have debate in this town.
The question has been called.
Yeah, the question has been called, all right. The question is, why are you people sitting on this board? That's the question.
The question has been called. We need to take the vote.
No, the question is, why are you people sitting on this board? Who do you represent in this community?
What?
That's the question.
I like how somebody raises their hand. Nice watch. What do you mean? Just stop politically grandstanding. Come on.
Who do you represent?
I guess we're sitting on here to make sure you don't ramrod everything you want.
Ramrod?
Yes.
Ramrod?
Absolutely.
Ramrod?
Absolutely.
Trustee Ritter, you are... I hate to say this.
Thank you, Ed.
I really hate to say
Oh,
this.
no, you won't hate to say it. You'll love saying it. Go ahead, say
No,
insult me.
I really hate to say this because you should be a person, especially a school teacher.
Right.
who
All right.
should be
call my
who should-
employment into
who
question
should be
now.
concerned about the standards of this community.
Bill, I've listened to your lectures all night.
yeah, I
We've
know
spent
you've
an
listened
hour
to my
of tonight
lectures.
listening to you
Yeah,
lecture
unfortunately,
us.
nothing ever sinks into any of you people.
I think that we already are waiting for Coronta actions that you requested from the state's attorney's
Yeah,
office.
don't worry, they will happen, believe me. So whether you guys want to...
I'm telling you, man, he reminds me so much of Lecture Fan. It's like an undeniable comparison to make. But oh my god. He said ramrod like it was the worst possible insult you ever in the history of mankind could have directed at the man.
Why
want
are
to take
we
care of
preemptive
this, or
of-
somebody else is going to do it. We could clean our own house as we ought to do, but oh no, not this town, not this board, not these people.
If there was a
I hope the
recall
voters out there
ordinance,
are
you'd
watching.
be gone, Bill,
I hope
and
the
that'd be the
voters
end
are
of
out
it.
there watching this because they're going to see what kind of representation they have on this board.
If there
This
was
is
a recall,
And
disgusting.
President Sardo,
It is
you'd be
disgusting.
gone, Bill.
President Sardo,
You're
the
gone.
voters,
Tired of you.
President
You're
Sardo, the voters
I'll take
also,
the 96-6 vote every day of the week.
they also know of the double standard where your police report says you threatened to kill your wife, and this is misdemeanor. Now,
I
let's
was not
move on.
charged with anything.
What? What? Where did that come from? What? Oh my god. They're digging that up. They're taking the skeletons out of the closet. They're pulling out the skeletons. Oh god, man. Dude, okay, so many people tell me, Dylan, you know your panels, they degrade what politics should be. You degrade politics. You make it a blood sport. I didn't make it a blood sport, okay? I didn't do that. It was a blood sport way before I got here.
Sardo, the voters
I'll take
also,
the 96-6 vote every day of the week.
They also know of the double standard where your police report says you threatened to kill your wife, and this is misdemeanor. Now,
I was not charged with anything, Trustee Sigwalt.
That's all right.
I was not charged. I was not charged with anything.
The question's been called.
And don't you ever defame me in public.
Question's been
unless
called.
you
It's
want
okay
to be,
for you to defame
unless you
me.
want to talk to my attorney.
Oh, please. It's okay for you to defame us, though.
No, I'm not
The
defaming
question
you.
has been called.
You guys are a
As senior
disgrace.
trustee, do I
all
have
of
the
you,
right to
from the
ask the
convict
court-
at the end
Terry.
to the woman whose
Terry.
son had sex with the convict's wife. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Excuse me? Excuse me? He's like, okay, you're going after the wife, death threats? Fine. Fine. Your son is banging his wife. He just... My God. Bring out the steel chair.
Oh, please. It's okay for you to defame us, though.
No, I'm not
The
defaming
question
you.
has been called.
You guys are a
As senior
disgrace.
trustee, do
all
I
of
have
you,
the right to
from the
ask the
convict
court-
at the end
Terry.
to the woman whose
Terry.
son had sex with the convict's wife. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a town. What a beautiful place. Yeah, go sit down, folks. Terry, call the roll.
Please, thank you.
Yes.
Trustee Hines?
Yes.
Trustee Sigwald?
Yes.
Trustee Ramirez-Lewinsky?
No.
Trustee Ritter?
Yes.
Trustee Teeter?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
It was just on calling the question.
I understand. We didn't have a motion.
Yeah, there was a motion to end. So there's a vote on the motion to end the debate.
Okay, Terry, call the roll
Or
again.
I'm sorry, on the motion to dying for lack of second.
Call the roll again, please.
Trustee Humper?
Yes.
Trustee Hines?
Yes.
Trustee Sigwald?
Yes.
Trustee Ramirez-Lewinsky?
No.
Trustee Ritter?
Yes.
Trustee Teeter?
Yes.
President Sardo?
No, and you'll all live and die with that vote, believe me.
We're getting threatened. I'm glad.
Oh, come on. That was not a... It wasn't a threat. Okay, come on. It wasn't a threat. He meant, like, that will define the rest of your... It was 100%, like, over obnoxious and, like, really overplaying it. But it wasn't a threat.
It's on video.
No, it's on the record for the voters to decide.
My God. My God.